What's up, everybody? It's your boy JV, your boy Brew, JBM Sports Media coming at you hot tonight. We're going to be doing some NBA hot takes right now, trying to switch it up a little bit and just give you our takes on what we think could potentially happen, but we're going to make it a little spicy. So, Brew, I'm going to start with you. Give us a hot take that you can see happening in the NBA, as we hit midseason.
Absolutely. So, yes, we have collectively 6 hot takes right here. I'm going to go first, and then we're going to go off each other one by one until we wrap it up. Yes, I am going to start it off right here. And this is actually one I was thinking about earlier today when I was at the gym. And that is that one of the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference will be upset in the first round. And yes, I'm talking first round right off the bat, whether it's the OKC Thunder, the Spurs, the Nuggets, or the Rockets. If I had to pick one team I feel like could get upset, I'm going to go with the Spurs. I think the Spurs are young. I think I could see them if they face a team like the Warriors, maybe the Warriors with some veteran presence right there, gets the best of the Spurs and Wemby. And, there's always health concerns with Wemby. As you can see, he's down right now again. So I would feel a little bit hesitant to, say kind of like a little bit of a hot take. I think that the Spurs could get and become first-round exits. Could it be the Nuggets as well? I do believe it can be. Jokic and the health of the team, I think that's one thing that, I'm looking at. A lot of those players are injured, so maybe they're going to have to battle and, fall down in the standings, which I think they will end up falling down in the standings right here with Jokic missing 4 to 6 weeks, I believe. Cam Johnson still out. Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon should be back. The Rockets, obviously, I feel like they need to get a point guard, but I do feel confident in their team. OKC's more of a long shot to miss and get eliminated in the first round, but who knows if there's been crazier things to happen. But yes, that's why I would say one of these top 4 teams will get eliminated in the first round. And I'll throw JV. You're next. Give me your hot take real quick.
So that was awesome. It's really it's good to look at it. When we do this, it opens up a different perspective when you throw a hot take out. But for me, to stay on the OKC kick, I'm going to say OKC misses the finals.
Wow.
I was actually teetering between the finals and the Western Conference Finals, but I figured, you know what, everybody has them already basically a shoe-in to go to the finals and represent the Western Conference. I'm going to say that they don't make it. I'm going to say that they lose in the Western Conference. I say they'll get that far. And they'll actually lose in 7 games. I'm not quite sure to who yet. I don't have a finger on it yet, but I would say at this point, I would like to say San Antonio or Minnesota.
Okay.
It's just a toss-up for me there. But like I said, it's a hot take. We're making it spicy. We're making it bold. So I'm going to say my first one is OKC not being in the finals to represent the Western Conference.
All right. And I actually really like that hot take. I think that could be a possibility, especially if they match up with the Spurs. The Spurs have had their number so far this season, beating them 3 times. They play 2 more times, so I'm going to have my eyes out on that matchup right there. That could be a possibility where they don't make it back to the NBA Finals. Even if they face the Nuggets, if the Nuggets are at least somewhat healthy,
yeah, absolutely.
I feel like the Nuggets play them hard. Timberwolves could be a good one. The Timberwolves make an addition at the trade deadline. I could see that being a big factor on beating the Thunder. Maybe even the Rockets. They've been having a lot of good duels with the Rockets, double overtime and opening day. I could really see that being a good series as well. I think OKC, it's going to be a tough challenge for them to get out the West more so this year than it was last year. Even though I think that they still have an amazing, tremendous team, I could really buy into that hot take right there. I'm going to say I'll buy into that. Next, we have a hot take that, going into like the Western Conference teams. And I was saying that one of the top 4 seeds could get upset. If you guys remember, I said one of these top 4 teams could get upset. And that's because I feel like, and this is going to be a bold one, I say Anthony Davis gets traded and joins the Golden State Warriors.
Wow, that is awesome. That is great.
I think they are at a point where they don't want to waste these last few years of Stephen Curry's, I wouldn't say prime, but, he's still playing at an all-star, superstar caliber level. He's averaging 25 to 26 points per game. He's still shooting great from the field. I think you can't waste this. And there's a way that you guys don't have to trade Jimmy Butler in this trade. Unfortunately, it would mean you guys would most likely have to trade Draymond Green, maybe Kuminga, some draft picks. But I think for Anthony Davis that, yes, he is injury prone. It's going to be worth it. It's going to add something that you quite simply haven't had in this Warriors dynasty. A big man like Anthony Davis. I mean, it just hasn't happened. I know KD is a big man technically if you think about it. I know he could play anywhere from small forward to center really because of his height. But a true power forward, a true center like AD, I feel like they haven't had that. I think that would be a major boost into the rotation right there. And in general, I feel like that would help Steph a lot, alleviate pressure off of him. I think this would be an excellent trade to get done. And I think it does get done at the trade deadline. We've already seen Chris Haynes talk about the Anthony Davis to the Warriors, Anthony Davis to the Hawks rumors. So I think the Warriors are going to get this done. I think they're going to be sad to part ways with Draymond, but, because he's been a Warrior for life, he's been a for-lifer kind of like Clay. It's going to get the same sentiment around it. But I do feel like Anthony Davis is going to become a Warrior and join up with Steph and Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean that would be something else, and I would love to see what the return would be to Dallas. That would be interesting to see what Dallas would get in return for a guy like AD, in the later years of his career. But not for nothing, just the trio of Steph, Jimmy Butler, and AD would be really, really lethal if those three could stay healthy in the back ends of their career, especially AD, obviously. But that would be something else. That's a really good one. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I really do feel like I said, they're not trying to waste these last few years of Stephen Curry's career. At this point, it's like the golden era of his career. He's not in his prime no more, but he's still playing at a high level where as long as he's healthy and if AD could just pull out a healthy string for the playoffs, I feel like they could make a run. That's exactly why I said they could maybe upset the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Rockets. If they were to match up and they're to be like the 7th seed or the 6th seed or even the 8th seed, maybe they upset the Thunder. Who knows? But a team like this, constructed like this, maybe they could give up a package of pods. Like I said, Kuminga, Draymond Green would have to fit it for the money-wise. Some first-round picks here and there, because obviously I know Dallas would want first-round picks for maybe like 2030, 2031 when Steph is no longer there. That would make sense.
And AD plays, and AD's been playing, when he's healthy, he produces. I mean, he's a walking double-double. I mean, it goes without saying. So, like you said, if he could put string together a full season in that system under Steve Kerr and play with the leadership of guys like Butler and Curry, I think that that's really a problem in the West. And I think the Nuggets would have to watch out. I think OKC would have to watch out. And all of a sudden here come the Warriors again. Knocking on people's doors. If that would happen.
I agree with you. And we're going to continue the trade pattern right here. I know JV has another one right here with the trade, and he is talking about the guy from Memphis, John Morant. What you got, JV?
So I think he goes to South Beach. I think he's taking his talents to South Beach. I think, the combo of, Davion Mitchell and Drew Smith is just not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough.
I think that listen, and they're 19 and 15. If the season ended tonight, they'd be in a playing game. So kudos to them for at least getting that far with, this roster. And kudos again to Eric Spoelstra. He's just a phenomenal head coach. He really gets the best. He really gets the best out of his guys. But I think if you want to add a guy who has a little bit, of that veteran feel, kind of, not happy right now with his situation in Memphis. I know Memphis is probably, thinking, maybe we get rid of him for a couple of draft picks. I know Miami, could use a point guard, and I think they would really elevate themselves with a playmaker like Ja, and make a nice push in the Eastern Conference, heading towards the playoffs. So I could see maybe a guy like Ja getting traded to the Heat.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mind that. I feel like you said Miami, if they get a true point guard like John Morant, I think that would be a major plus. I think heading back would most likely be a combination of either some young talent, maybe Tyler Hero, obviously, some picks, maybe a Jaime Jaquez. I'm thinking maybe him as well. Because to get Ja's value up, because it's not been the best this year, if I could be honest. He's been a little bit banged up as well. I think Miami could pull this trade off, and it could help them with the combination, even if you have a backcourt of John Morant and Norman Powell. If you have Norman Powell playing shooting guard, I think that would be pretty cool. Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware backup. I think that'd be a very solid team. So if Miami does make a push for John Morant, I think that would be quite excellent. And I think them and another team I was talking about earlier, the Raptors would make sense too. I feel like they need a true point guard.
That would be a nice move.
Or unfortunately, like Sacramento always does like dumb shit, and I feel like they would do something like that and just like basically get fleeced. They suck. They're talk about a putrid franchise right
there. What a shame, because they look like they were on the up and up, and it's just not how it is right now. I mean, they're gutted. I mean, and it's and plus the bonus too. That guy's another walking double, just not
Hopefully
winning
he gets
games. It's
traded.
crazy. Yeah, I think he's next, honestly.
Yeah, him and Levine got to get out of there. I mean, DeMar DeRozan
Yeah,
is the shell of himself, to be honest. And Russell West. I mean, if you're relying on key buckets from Russell Westbrook this year,
yeah,
I mean,
you're chopped.
you're
You're just
chopped, man.
chopped at that
Come
point.
on, man. So maybe they make a trade like that, give up a guy like Murray, or give up some prospects. Who knows? Some young prospects. They maybe
Yeah,
this guy Keon Ellis, maybe some young prospects on some picks as well. They could do that for Ja. But I think Miami would be a great acquisition if they get Ja Morant. I really do believe that would be the case because I feel like they've been lacking that true point guard for quite some time. And
they are.
getting
They
a
are
guy like
absolutely
this, he needs a reset as well. I think he's kind of mentally checked out from Memphis at this point, and I think that's okay. We already know that he's not really getting along with the head coach at
You're
this.
right.
And, it's kind of unfortunate because if you look at Ja Morant after they played the Warriors in 2022 in the playoffs, you would think like, all right, this guy, Western Conference, they're going to be a top 2 seed for the next few years. Injuries have derailed that. Scandals have derailed that. And there's just been a lot of momentum lost in the Ja Morant train, the hype more so. The hype train, yeah. There's been a lot of momentum lost. I think a reset at this point is very necessary. And I feel like Miami won't have to give up a lot as well.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's just a fresh start. It's in a warm climate, beautiful beaches. Maybe he gets into this vibe where basketball starts to become something that re-energizes him again, and he has a fresh start. Like I said, and sometimes a change of scenery does you well. And I could see him actually being successful in Miami, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our last 2 takes. We have back to back right here with the same team, but I think we have it like a little bit different, and I think this is about to be really fun. My hot take, the hottest take I have right here, is that Jason Tatum comes back this season and leads the Boston Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think if you look at the footage right now, it's getting very much more so. All right, this guy, I think he's going to play this year, and I think he's content on giving it his all to play this year. He's already been practicing, maybe not as heavy as people anticipated, but he's already been practicing. You've seen the footage. It looks like this guy's hell-bent on coming back this year, and I think that is absolutely tremendous coming off a torn Achilles. Nobody has seen a comeback like this. I mean, he idolizes Kobe, and Kobe didn't even have a comeback like this on a torn Achilles when he suffered that. I think Jason Tatum is going to come back, and the way that the Celtics are already playing right now, they add this guy to the piece. They're making Eastern Conference Finals run. Maybe they have to make another trade, but who knows? I mean, more so depth piece, they need another big. But I think he's coming back, and I think him and Jaylen Brown are going to lead this team to the Eastern Conference Finals. I can't say finals because I don't think they're better than the Knicks or even to an extent the Pistons because I think the Pistons are more gritty. But I think they're going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you think about this?
So this is it's actually pretty interesting because it literally leads into my last
Yeah, go at it.
My last hot take, and I just want to let our followers and listeners know that me and Brew did not go over.
We did not.
Our 3 picks each. We just said, listen, let's do a couple of hot takes. You want to do 6? We could do 3 each, and we'll just rattle them off. And that's how we left it off before the show started. So what my final one is, this is pretty funny, is that Boston wins the 1 seed in the Atlantic Conference, in the Eastern Conference. So it's funny to say this because, like I said, we didn't have this planned. This was just literally us thinking to ourselves. He puts a beautiful spin on the fact that Boston could get Tatum back as early as this year, maybe even before the playoffs. Maybe he comes back, in the regular season. We'll see. Who knows? There's still 55 plus games left, so
yeah,
who knows what can happen in the next 2 months. But I could see, the Celtics making a trade, and if you look at their point, I know you said that they potentially looking for a big. But if they wanted to go for another scorer, I could actually see them maybe potentially going after a guy like Trae Young, only because, you have Anthony Simons, you have Peyton Pritchard. But if you need another scorer, a guy that could shoot the 3, maybe you go after a guy like Trae Young, who's been now floated around on the block. And, maybe you don't make it a long-term thing, but, maybe just to make that run, you go after a guy like Trae Young just to have some more flexibility in your backcourt.
I actually would like if they go after a big. I would actually like if they could get into the Sabonis market. I think that would be perfect for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that would be another good trade. Yeah, absolutely.
I think getting a center like that could obviously spread out the floor as well. facilitate very good. He's going to get you those offensive rebounds at key points, and he's going to pass it back out to the top of the key where Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Pritchard, Tatum are going to shoot the three. I think it'd be excellent if they could get a guy like Sabonis, or even, I mean, dare I say, a guy like Zion would make somewhat of sense
wow.
if they want
Zion's another guy too.
Another big, and just somebody to play power forward and kind of provide a big paint presence, because I think that would be the case right there. He drives to the paint good. He finishes good. His athleticism is still there when he's not hurt. And, so far he has been hurt, but when he's on the floor, he plays good ball. I mean, there's no denying Zion Williamson is a great talent. But yes, we both agree that the Celtics are going to finish off strong with that Tatum in the regular season, or Tatum comes back in the postseason, which I think if I had to put a dot on it, I think he's probably going to come back around maybe 5 games left in the regular season to kind of warm up the body. But I think he's coming back. I think at this point, what I'm seeing, I think he's coming back, and it's going to be a miraculous turnaround from a torn Achilles.
Would be something else. That would be under a year. That would be it would be pretty remarkable.
It would. It really would.
It would be so wild. But just the way that Boston has been playing in this Eastern Conference, the fact that they're a 3 seed right now, behind the Knicks and Detroit, just really shows you how gritty this team has been without, their best player. And you got to give props to Jaylen Brown. He's scoring 30 a night, basically, at this point, being just an absolute beast. And only if you add Tatum in there, what could this team potentially be? And like you and I said, if they make a move for whoever and to improve.
I do feel like the Celtics are bound to make a move in the trade deadline, whether that is, like you said, upgrading the point guard position or getting a big that they could feel confident in when the playoffs comes around. Tatum, I feel like at this point is 100% hell-bent on coming back, and hopefully we see him. I think that'd be a miraculous storyline in the NBA, let alone.
Absolutely. That would be remarkable, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So those are our 6 hot takes. Let us know in the comments section. What do you guys think about it? Do you feel like we nailed the landing? Do you feel like, obviously, these are a little bit way too hot for your liking, which, I mean, it's cool if that makes sense. But I think we had some pretty good reasoning behind it, to be honest. And I think these hot takes, at least I'd say 2 of them are going to come to fruition, which is, if I had to pick 2 that are going to happen, I think Ja Morant, I think there's a great possibility he ends up in Miami. I think there's a great possibility. And I think it's a great possibility that the Celtics somehow find themselves getting that 1 seed. I really do believe if they're gonna, if they're gonna make another trade, I think it happens. Because I'm not really sold on the Pistons yet, 100%. That's another thing. I guess if we get
me either.
If we get on a longer NBA episode, which will be happening, and we talk about the landscape of all the teams, the Knicks, they have their pluses, and they have obviously their minuses, I guess, with some depth pieces that just haven't been playing the best. But I think the Celtics right now, what they're doing right now without Tatum, you got to look at it and give them a shout out, because nobody thought that they would be a top 3 seed right now at all.
And that's why I think it's sort of a hot take, to be honest with you. I mean, they're a 3 seed without their best player, and their second best player has been absolutely phenomenal. In making this run halfway through the year, and for them to be in this position is just absolutely fantastic, for that organization. So if they get Tatum back, it's only the sky's the limit at that point. And then on top of if they make a trade, like we were saying, forget it. It could be catastrophic to the rest of the Eastern Conference.
Absolutely. And just to wrap it up, like we said, let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Are these a little bit too hot, a little too outlandish? Or do you guys see at least one of these coming true? Which I do. At least one I think is going to come true. JB, if you want to say anything to wrap it up.
No, so I just want to say, thank you to everybody with the continued support as always. I do want to give a shout out to a good buddy of mine, Dave Lamonaco. He runs a tile business, Allstartilesetter. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram, allstartilesetter.com. Same handle for Instagram and same handle for Facebook. Good buddy of mine, does phenomenal work. I mean, top of the line work in the New Jersey area. So if you're ever looking for work, for tile, kitchen work, please, give him a look. He's a really good friend of mine, does phenomenal work. And like I said, thank you for everybody. Please subscribe. Please like and follow. We're going to be doing more of these. We've been doing one every night since the new year started, even before the new year started. So again, thank you for the support, and JBM SM, baby.
Yeah, and just to finish it up, Mike is not dead, guys. I just want to let you guys know Mike is not dead, because I think at this point there might be a little bit of concern from viewers at this point. Where's Mike at? Is he dead?
No, he's not dead.
Did he fall back in the hole? No, he didn't. He's not. He's still good. He's still good. He'll be back making his return. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. If not, then you guys should voice concern because it's it depends. It depends. He's good though. He's
living in a van down by the river. That's what's that's what's going on.
Man, he's in bad state. No, I'm just kidding, guys. He's good. He's good. He's good. But as always, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like this video. Show some love on JBM Sports Media on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe here on YouTube. We'll catch you guys on the next one.